Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Agricultural produce worldwide faces several threats that can significantly impact food security, supply chains, and the livelihoods of farmers. These threats range from natural factors to human-induced challenges. Need of the hour is sustainable agricultural practices to meet the food requirements of the world.
For the last many years, we've been trying to solve the challenge of fodder shortage in India. Just imagine this. 70 million dairy farmers feeding more than half of India. Milk is the highest protein traded by volume in India, so it feeds half of India. Despite this, the area under which the fodder cultivation was happening has not changed in the last 4 decades, and that is causing a lot of shortage. You might also know that the climate change is adding more to this problem in terms of shortage of water, fragmented land, extreme dry days, extreme wet days, all of this, and newer types of pests causing production problems. So overall, the entire biomass of food production has been challenged by various factors through which the production is in itself reducing. To add to this problem, our energy transition requires and puts more stress on the limited resources. For example, we need more land for solar parks. We need more biomass for ethanol production. We need to still feed our people. So the question is, can we really feed the future while being sustainable? That's the problem we are looking at.
Innovation plays a crucial role in driving sustainable agricultural practices by introducing new technologies, methods, and solutions that enhance efficiency, reduce environmental impact, and improve resilience. Hydrogreens, Bengaluru has worked on a novel concept in this direction.
So the solution has to be multifold. At a broad level, we have to increase production and be resilient to the climate vagaries that are going to come. And we also need to be able to store and reduce our post-harvest losses. Absolutely not acceptable with the kind of losses that we're having, whether in grains or tomato or what have you. So we started with designing a post-harvest storage container, which you see, where we try to store fodder for over 1 year without any fungus, mold, and aflatoxin. And that results, having no aflatoxin sort of encouraged us to check for what other fruit and vegetables or grains could we try. So the solution that we had designed works for storage of fodder as well as grains and fruits and vegetables. The technology varies a little bit, but essentially the central portion of it is the post-harvest storage barrel that you see. What we do is basically remove the air, internal air of the barrel, and fill it with inert gases like nitrogen and a little bit of oxygen so that the commodity continues to breathe. By this combination, we're able to reduce the breathing rate of the commodities or slow it down so that it does not ripen, or the metabolism of the commodities is slowed down as much as possible. And the barrel is, so once the barrel is locked in with inert gases, there is no gas exchange, so the environment inside the barrel remains intact for many weeks. There is absolutely no leakage, and the special paint that is given to the barrel gives it an insulation from the outer environment. And so when the commodities are pre-cooled to say about 10 degrees, it makes it very difficult for the commodity to increase its temperature. And so therefore, we're able to store it for much longer period without any intrusion to the commodity. So now for the first time, we'd be able to move sort of a cold container to over 1,000 kilometers or even wherever it is required. and need not have massive energy required to cool our post-harvest produce. So the biggest advantage is India can leapfrog into an area where it requires no energy to keep its post-harvest cool. Now, how cool is that, isn't it? So the motivation has always been fodder for me, because when I started this company, I grew up as a cattle herder probably, where I enjoyed feeding cattle, and looking at the problem, shortage of fodder, that has kept me motivated even now to be able to solve that problem. And that is giving dividends in terms of that the solution being extendable to multiple other commodities is a boon in disguise for me, and also for our farmers and all the stakeholders, including the consumers, will be able to get access to good quality food without any chemical intervention, and also being able to reduce the inflationary pressure that the country feels when there is lesser shortage or climate challenges facing the production and agriculture.
Refrigeration of agricultural produce can be energy intensive and would also generate emissions. But Hydrogreens was able to deal with this challenge.
In terms of cooling, we are not taking new energy from the coal grid. We're actually using the CO2 that is sequestered from a fertilizer or a chemical company to be able to bring it into liquid form, which is at about -100, and then be able to pre-cool these tomatoes. So we are not generating any new CO2 and not giving opportunities for any greenhouse gases to be required or coal to be burned to keep our produce cool.
The solution provided by Hydrogreens has unique dimensions to it. It has effectively dealt with transportation issues while keeping the process environment friendly.
So the barrels are stackable and are extremely transport friendly. So we've seen that whenever tomatoes are transported over long distances or even short distances, there is at least about 10-20% loss. Not a single tomato will be lost in our barrels. It requires zero energy, which means imagine storing millions of tons of post-harvest produce requires no energy, and that's the quantum leap that the country can go.
Sustainable agricultural practices have a wide range of positive impacts on farming communities, both in terms of environmental health and socio-economic well-being. Innovations like these can go a long way to empower farming communities and improve their livelihoods.
In terms of the impact for the farmer, we say it's apni upaj, apni godam, mera selling price, which means it gives the leverage to the farmer to be able to sell it to the market whenever the rates are favorable to him, and he doesn't have to dump it or throw it out in the market. So there is a fair advantage for the farmer as well as the consumer, trying to bring balance whenever there is challenges faced by either by climate or through production or what have you.
Addressing food production and preservation challenges requires technological innovation, policy reforms, and sustainable agricultural practices to ensure the stability and resilience of agricultural systems. Innovations in the agriculture sector will ultimately ensure food security and environmental well-being for generations to come.